This is such a big thing, right?
Thank you.
Oh, come on, Jim. Good morning, Colin.
Morning.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. Fantastic. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you for-
I wanted to be kind of businesslike.
Can I see the other girl?
Hello and welcome to Qatar's first sports podcast, In the Game. I'm your host, Steve Mackey, and we can't wait to introduce you to everything that is sports here in Qatar and afar. We're going to be bringing you personalities, company owners, institutions, individuals that are making a real difference. So, with us, enjoy the journey.
It's fun, man. Sports is fun.
Everyone, thank you for listening. Please send us your feedback on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And don't forget to review us on your favorite podcast app. Hello and welcome to In the Game, Qatar's first sports podcast. We have a special guest all the way from Pakistan today. You would not believe the backdrop that these guys and ladies play from. It's incredible. But let me introduce you. Today we have a magnificent guest on. What he's doing is just incredible. So please, Munawar, please welcome to the show. Tell us all about you and what you do.
Thank you, Steve, for inviting me in your show. It's a pleasure for me to hear. My name is Munawar Shah. I belong from Shimshal Valley, Pakistan, known as the Valley of Mountaineers. It is situated in the north of Pakistan near the Chinese border.
Whoa. I've seen the images and the images look amazing. It's like a picture card.
Yeah, thank you. That's the valley. It's in the north of Pakistan and it's a highly mountainous region there. Karakoram ranges. Yeah, Kedu is also situated in that region.
That is incredible. I love every time I go onto your profile in LinkedIn. Oh my word, it's just a beautiful backdrop. I've got to come there one day. But less about me, more about you. What have you been doing in that region and how did you get involved in sports?
Well, I'm a student of sports sciences and physical education from a local university in Lahore. The story started in 2012 when I involved in going to the women football academies and just go to watch their games. And three of my cousins also started playing for local clubs and local in Lahore. It's a city. So I went with them and watched them on the fields, and I realized that we should start such kind of activities in the mountain because that region need more because the girls are physically fit, but they need such opportunities. Whenever they're left behind because of lack of opportunities and resources. So we just make minded and making plans for a couple of years. And then finally we started the club in 2016 where two of my cousins went there and they just started the training there. And after that, all the boys in the valley also started training the girls there. So they started training and then they just organized a local football tournament there for the girls.
When you started this off for the local girls, how was it met by everybody? Did everybody embrace it? Did everybody want it? They thought that this was a great idea, or did you have to work at it? Did you have to try to encourage more and more people to take part?
Yeah, in the north, as you know, in Shunzai is a very good example for all the world because of their women empowerment and all that stuff. The community wants the girls to participate in such kind of activities. But due to lack of opportunities, we are left behind because of the lack of resources, because the income in that region is depend on tourism. Most of the people, 70% of our income depend on tourism. And we don't have a proper job opportunities there. So we belong to a normal families. So we thought that the people also encourage their daughters to play football, because they want them to see, they appreciate them, and the community is very supportive. So we don't face any trouble like that. And it's a village, a small village that encourage the girls to play.
How many people have you got in the village? How many people in total have you in the village?
It's around more than 2,000. The populated is the population there is more than 2,000 people.
And again, I'm going to come back to how it looks. That it must be the best football pitch for scenery that the world has to offer.
Yeah, and we look up the world that people what are doing. We think globally, we see the people around the world what they are doing, and that encourages us to do for our local girls. We have seen that we were planning before that, like to play our highest altitude football match. So we were following equal playing field they have done in South Africa, Kilimanjaro, a peak. They climb a peak and they play the highest altitude football ground of the highest altitude football match there. So we thought that we should have to do similar to that. So we started planning that, and finally in 2019, we trekked for 4 hours to reach our ground, and we play a gender equality football match. So the basic.
Let me stop you there. Let me just stop you there. You have to trek 4 hours to the pitch to play football.
Yeah, and the basic theme of that match was to send the message of peace and equality to the world. And 2 teams played a match there. One team was united, and the second piece was peace. So the basic theme of that match, the trail was very dangerous. We crossed the river and we went up to the Rocky Mountains to play that match. And all our girls, we have a team of 29 people, and 24 people were the players, female players, and they were just young players, aged from 12 years to 22, 24.
These are stories that films are made of.
Yeah, we have made a local by our own, because here in Pakistan, there is a huge, it's very, we didn't get good sponsors there. And we tried our best to make it more good if we get a sponsor. Our planning was something else, but due to lack of sponsors, we just do it locally.
We're gonna on this show today, we're gonna try and reach out to everybody, and we're gonna share some pictures with you, and you're gonna see to what extent 4 hours it takes them to trek to get to this football pitch, and it's for local girls in that local community. It's an incredible story. Let's give a shout out. It's Al Shams Women's Football Club, right?
Yeah, Al Shams Women's Football Club.
It's an incredible story. What has it meant to the village, you doing this type of thing?
Yeah, we do football tournaments there. Basically, we start training, and we also do football training camp, educational sessions, and such kind of activities. So the community is very supportive. They want such kind of activities for the girls as well as for the boys, because through such activities we get united, and sports is the only tool that can change communities, that can change the world. I believe.
I love your sentiments, and I know that there's going to be so many people out there that love your sentiments too. And again, let's just go over that. You're just not giving them football. You're giving them education. You're giving them sports. You're giving them so much.
Yeah, because we people like the mountains, like the north of Pakistan, they want to be more opportunities. They have mountaineers. There are a lot of female mountaineers. There are a lot of sports persons. So what we guys want to do, we want to target the local communities, the grassroots levels. We want to make players. We want to educate them, the value, we want to help them in education. And we also want them not to be a player, but be a role model in the community.
How many did you start? How many ladies did you start with? How many young girls did you start with in the beginning?
Yeah, in the beginning, the training started with local 12 girls, and once all the boys see the result that the training is started, so every boys started training the girls.
Wow! So, and how many have you got now?
We have 24 players in our club. They play for like in the local tournaments, and yeah.
And how are you doing in the local tournaments? You've got some good girls that are going into you're hoping to get into the Pakistan team, right?
Yeah, we are hoping to like that. For the initial stage, we want to give them trainings to make them good players. And we really want them to be part of the Pakistan national team. And we really, it will be honor for us that girls from that region will represent Pakistan internationally.
And that's just, it's phenomenal. Honestly, it is just phenomenal with what you've done here. I cannot believe it. I can't believe that you've got to trek 4 hours just to get to the training ground. It's unbelievable. How far up are you? How many feet are you above sea level?
We usually play the community ground where we play is for 3,100 meters. But the gender equality match we played is above sea level is 4,100 meters above sea level.
This is just amazing. And how have you seen everybody developing from this initiative? And by the way, I've got to say, it's one of the best ones that I've heard of in such a long time. You are incredible with what you've done here. But what developments have you seen? How have you seen the girls and the guys develop?
According to the game or their personal development?
From a personal perspective, how they're improving from a skills side of things, and their education. How are they? Is that improving? With everything you're doing?
Yes. Once we started them, we show them the way, the path to get involved in such kind of activities and to benefit from that. And a lot of players represented Unza, our local city there, Gilgit, our province. They represented our cities and local academies there in our local tournaments, national tournaments as well. And by the personal perspective, that training football is a game that teaches you a lot of things. Not just playing, but it teaches you patience. It teaches you how to make your goal, and it's a lot of things they have done. And by the personal perspective, we have seen that they are more active. When you play, the girls who are involved in sport, they're more active as compared to other girls in local activities as well as in football and other way of life.
Who are your role models? Who do they, being in a rural area, who are the people on a global basis do they look up to? Or did they have that opportunity to look up to stars around the world?
Yes, a lot of players, and I will share you one of the story of our girls. All of the players have the potential. When you see them playing, I look like they are the next Hope Solo and Alex Morgan, Tobin Head, and I see them like that kind of players. But if I hope that we will able to make them and give them the opportunity. They will be in the footstep of our local player Ajra Khan, our captain, and Alex Morgan, Hope Solo. They have their role model, and I will share one of one of the story of our player. Amrina Amir is one of the local player in Shimsha. Is just a young 14 years old kid. And when she started playing, she has a very good dribbling, and the community and the local level, they called him Ronaldo. Ronaldo of Pakistan, and we hope that she will be. She looked like Ronaldinho, but her dribbling and all that stuff is like Ronaldo. And if you say, I will share one of the video of her.
Yeah, please share anything you've got with us, because what we'll do is we'll try and put it into the podcast itself. I just find it overwhelming, really. I've seen the pictures, and I know that everybody's going to be able to see the pictures when they listen to this podcast. But I find this really emotional with what you've done and what you've created, and how you're inspiring and how you're trying to encourage mentor, educate. It's just incredible. Where do you see what's your next steps? What do you want to try and achieve now?
I want that players to be a part of the national team, and we want them, like through this game, they're dedicating their lives towards football. So we want them to create opportunities for them. Like if they are when they want to get education, they will get education on sports-based scholarship, because the economic level there is just normal. So I want them first to be a good player and then enter in universities, get quality education. And then I want them to be, with that, I want them to be part of the national team to represent Pakistan. And I want that players to be on play for Pakistan as international. And if the clubs in other countries offer them, so that would be an honor for us. And not only in that way, we also want to expand our work in other areas as well, to give more opportunities for the girls and to train them, to educate them, and to make them a good citizen in our society.
It's incredible what you're trying to achieve. You really are. What with your what job do you do a job, or is this just part-time, or what do you do? How do you do your normal day-to-day?
Well, I'm a student currently. I'm getting my education in University of Lahore. It's in city. So I'm getting my education from University of Lahore in sports sciences and physical education. And it's my part-time job, like part-time, you can say that. It's a voluntary work for the community.
Your story, I'm so privileged to be able to be talking with you today, because it just is an incredible story, and how selflessness you are, how you're in university, but you're also kind of giving so much back to the community. It's a credit to you. Tell me what it's like on match day. So you've got a match. What's your procedure that you go through? How do the girls prepare?
Like the girls are physically prepared and they are also mentally prepared. But we just give them. We are not professionals and too much professional like other teams do. We do it by ourselves. The players who just have exposure to play in local cities, they just train the girls. So they are good enough to play and to mentally prepare for the match. When the match occurs, they're decided, and they are like I see them that they are preparing and they want to achieve, and they achieve. We are the finalist of a local tournament, GVJFL in 2019, and runner-up in its second edition.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Now, how often do you play?
Like we get training in the mountain, like in the village, but once there is, we play locally there. But once there is any tournament or something like that, local tournament, we participate in that and we play.
And just for anybody that's listening, and they look at it and they go, "This is a fantastic initiative." How can they help you the best?
Because here in Pakistan, the most important and the most thing is that we didn't get any kind of sponsors. When we have events, when we ask for sponsors, it's very difficult to get sponsors for our team, for our club. And if anyone can help in any way, like they can, we are still running a crowdfunding campaign to support us to build a football ground for the girls, and we are asking for donation to run the club annually. Like in the donation we'll use like to participate in any tournament, to train the girls, to boost our equipments, and hire permanent coaches there. So it's not about to give just to give the players opportunity. It's about to getting them involvement and the community to get an opportunity for employment as well. If one local player get, we can hire him or are as a coach. So that's also there. He's running his life, his family. He or she will support their family as well.
That's brilliant. And so what we've got to do is, I know that I think you've got a crowdfunding page, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to share that also, because this people has got to get behind it. We're going to get behind it. We're going to try and get this message out to as many people as possible so that they can help you. We're going to show people images. So what we'll do is we'll show people images. We'll show people what you're doing. We'll let people know that just to get to this place, you need to track 4 hours. It's again, and I know that I'm keep on saying this, but it's just an incredible story. It should be a film. It's like, I can't wait to see your progress. Your progress that you've made so far is incredible. And this should be a message all around the world. It should go all around the world. It should go viral, because of what you're doing with these young ladies and young children is just phenomenal. When's your, just tell me a little bit now about what your plans are in the next 6 months. What do you have in front of you in the next 6 months?
Well, in the 6 months, we want that girls, we just want to do a culture exchange program. That we want that girls to, we just want to bring them in the cities to do a culture exposure, to do a culture exchange program. They will play, they will get exposure about the city life, because they are in the mountains and they didn't get exposure of on playing on the grass ground and to meet new people. So we want them to we just try to bring them in the cities, our first priority.
So what was it like when you must have remembered the time that you took your team and you played on grass? What was it like? That must have been an experience.
Yeah, that would be an first experience for that girl, because yeah, have you seen, if you saw the grounds, they are like rocky grounds. Yeah. So most of the girls didn't get a chance to play on the grass ground, and they haven't got exposure of the clubs, the grounds here in the cities. So we want them to be to get exposure of that lifestyle as well, because city life is different and our life in the mountain is totally different.
And okay, we've all gone through this really tough time with COVID-19. How did that affect you in playing? Did it affect you much, or were you isolated to a certain degree? How has it played a part in your area?
Yes, because the COVID situation is getting worse, and in 2020 we delay each and everything, our activities. We get training there, but because of the COVID restriction, we totally closed our each and everything. We even haven't get the training there. So all our activities were closed because of the COVID. And in that time, we didn't get any any financial funds or something like that to do our activities because of the COVID. It impacts all the people, no matter what they are doing. If they have business, if they're corporate, the COVID affected everyone.
And when are you going to be back? Are you back playing and training right now, or is it still on hold?
Because the COVID situation is getting worse in Pakistan nowadays. So once it will be like on track, we will be on normal life. Definitely, we will start training.
Munawar, don't give in on this. This is just an incredible journey that you're going on. And for you to initiate this, let's shout out about who helped you too. Let's shout about your team.
Sorry?
Shout about your team. Who else helps you in this? Have you got any team members that help you with the training, or is it just you?
No, there are a lot of guys who support the program. They give voluntarily coaching. They help us in the tournaments. The community members. Everyone contribute a lot in this. When we organize our tournament, the community members help voluntarily. They do each and everything, like helping us and cheering up the girls. So everyone is equally to that.
It's an amazing story. I'm privileged. We're privileged that you've come on the show today and tell us a little bit about what you're doing. We're going to share some videos, some images. We're going to share your story because it's incredible. As I said, I still believe that it would make an amazing film. And I can't wait to hear the first time you can get back in contact with me to tell me that one of your girls is now representing Pakistan. You are a gentleman and you are an inspiration. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Steve, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my story. Thank you, everyone, for helping us and to support us.
Please give our regards to everybody, the girls, your team, your community. Please, you're a shining example to everybody that's out there. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. And you've got one of the best football grounds, it must be in the world.
Thank you so much, Steve. Hopefully, we invite everyone who wants to join us in the mountains, who want to visit that region. So it's one of the peaceful area of Pakistan. So you can visit us. You can come to that area. We will appreciate it.
It's been an incredible. I keep on saying these big words, and I don't like using the big words too much, but you deserve every single one of them. You are an inspiration, and what you're doing is just brilliant, and we all should take note. Whenever we're feeling that we're having a tough time, listen, there's a lot of people out there that just get up and do things. You're those. You're one of those amazing people, and the world's a better place for it. So thank you so much for coming on. Everybody, I hope you've enjoyed the show today. Incredible story, and what an initiative. This is just amazing. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed the images. We're going to just keep on posting on this one, but please, 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 I'm going to share you with the crowdfunding page. Even if it's the smallest amount, it's going to make a huge difference, okay? I don't normally do this. In 101 episodes, I don't get on this soapbox very often, but this time I want to, because this is one of those stories that we can all play a part in, okay? Thank you so much again, and it's been a pleasure interviewing today.
Thank you, Steve, for getting me on the show.
Thank you. Everybody, thanks for listening. Until next week, thanks for now. See you next week. Bye for now. Everyone, thank you for listening. Please send us your feedback on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And don't forget to review us on your favorite podcast app.